Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to talk about color correction and color grading. Now, color correction and color grading are not the same thing. Color correction improves the look of or just gets the look of your footage out of the camera to look exactly the way that the colors are supposed to look, white balance, all that kind of stuff. It is so much easier to shoot your footage in the right color scheme than it is to come into Premiere and edit it back, because it will mess with the clarity of your footage. Color grading is adding a certain look, whether you see the LUTs or things from your favorite YouTubers and the way they make their videos look orange and teal, or whatever color scheme that they give. Photographers use this a lot. If you're shooting in autumn, you want to give that dark brown or orangey feel. If you're shooting in the summer, you want bright, vibrant colors. So that's what we're going to look at today. In my opinion, editing is way more easy if you shoot in the right color scheme. You make sure your white balance is correct in camera, and you make sure that everything is set the way it should be before you film the clips. But let me show you how to do it in Premiere. So there's a specific way here that you can do this. First things first, we're going to open up the color workspace. And how we're going to do that, we're going to go to Window, we're going to go to Workspaces, and we're going to slide on over here to Color. Once we click on Color, it's going to pull up Lumetri Scopes over here on the left. And then you can see over here on the right hand side, you get these beautiful options as well. So one of the main things you want to do is make sure that your white balance is good. So right here, you can do it automatically. And with white balance, you're going to click on this dropper tool. You're going to find a place that should look white to the natural eye. You're going to click that, and you can see it gives my skin tone some colors. I think this color correction is pretty good, but we don't want anything touching this bottom line, and we don't want anything touching this top line. We want them about at this line. Then we're going to drag the whites over here down, and we're going to bring the blacks up a little bit because you don't want them touching on the line. Once we get it looking like this is actually pretty good. I would probably leave it like this. This is all that you're going to do when you're doing color correction. You want to get the footage to look exactly the way it should to the naked eye. This is the way you do it. So looking at the color, the Lumetri color panel over here, you can switch between any of these at any time. You can see several menus, so let's get deeper into them. The basic correction section, it's providing you with simple controls. The temperature, you can see that here, white balance, if you want to bring the saturation up or down. I don't recommend doing this when you're doing color correction. The only thing I recommend doing is getting your film to look like it would to the naked eye. When you come down here under light, you got exposure. So if you shot in dark areas or light areas, you might want to mess with this, and then the contrast brings in the darks and the lights. I like a more contrasty look to my footage. So when I'm adding a color grade or anything like that, I add more contrast. I crush the blacks and I bring up the whites a little bit, things like that. It's your footage, so make it look how you want. Just don't oversaturate it. Then when you get down to the creative here, you can see it will add certain things for you, sharpen it, vibrance. Any of these things, or a lot of these things, if you add too much or too little, you're going to see exactly what it does for you, and it's not going to be good the majority of the time. Just little adjustments here and there is what you're looking for. My advice to you is to go in here and you're going to fix your color the way you want it to be fixed. So go to basic correction. I would reset all of these. I'm going to go and I'm going to reset. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to bring the whites down and the blacks up. And then what I would do is I would go online and I would find somebody that has a LUT that you like. Now, a LUT is like a certain look or things like that. I'm going to put some in here for you free at the end in the bonuses, so make sure you check those out. Get your footage like this and then go in and add a LUT. Let me show you exactly what I mean. You can also use Premiere's LUTs. So when you're doing this, we're going to click on Effects. I'm going to drag Effects back up here to the top right, and then you see this Lumetri presets right here. So you'll see cinematic, film stocks, monochrome, speed locks, technical. Let's look at some of the cinematic ones that they have. So I'm going to click on that, hit the drop down. I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a adjustment layer over my footage, and I'm going to drag it right on top, just like I did before when we did the Gaussian blur. I'm going to make sure it covers the whole thing. And then I'm going to add, let's try this one. It's a little much. So you can see how dark that made it. But you can pick between any of these. I'm going to hit Command Z. You can hit Control Z if you're on Windows, and you can see how they look. We don't want faded film, CineSpace. This is kind of cinematic here. So if you play it, you'll see, and that gives it that special kind of look that you're looking for. Down in the bonus, you will see some presets, some LUTs for you to mess around with and put on your film, and they're all there for you. Hopefully you got something out of this video. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you in the next one.